Hi, this is Greg with another computer support video, and in this video we're going to be looking at importing video into iMovie. I want to show you a couple of things you're going to need to know about when you attempt this. First of all, depending on what drives are available on your computer, if you have something like a USB memory stick plugged in or a network drive, you're going to get an exclamation point next to that because iMovie doesn't want to use small data storage devices or maybe a storage device that isn't formatted properly for iMovie to use. The next thing you want to know is if you're using a hard drive based camera like this one, this is a Canon hard drive based video camera, you'll be using a USB cable to connect that to the computer. The computer's going to see that as if it were a hard drive. Okay? So iMovie is going to notice that you've plugged that in. So now I'm going to go ahead and plug the cable in here on the left-hand side, having some assistance. We're getting that plugged in on the camera, and you'll notice that it's keyed a certain way, so the plug can only go in one way. So there we go. And instead of seeing the normal display on the camera, now we have a message showing up here, and it's saying select the type of device for the USB connection. So Sony, Canon, some of these other brands, they have a couple of options when you plug in DVD. Is it a DVD burner? Are you going to burn a DVD? Or is it a computer, a printer? So I'm going to use this little toggle. I'll toggle over to computer, printer. And the reason we might hook it into a printer is if we had some still photos in here that we wanted to print. But in this case, it's computer printer. I'm going to select that and push the button. And now it says connect the compact power adapter. So it wants us to have something other than just the battery power because we have about 37 minutes remaining. So I'm going to grab the compact power adapter here, and with some assistance we're going to get that plugged in. Most cameras, it's going to be somewhere in the back these days on the right hand side where that power adapter is, although some of the older versions of Sony have it in the upper front of the camera. So once all these requests are met, now we get a message on the screen of the camera, and it says, I'm not even sure if you can read that because of the glare, but it says, do not disconnect the USB cable or the power source while the camcorder is connected to a computer. Cannot turn off the camcorder or change the operating mode. Okay, so that means we're just going to leave that camera alone, but it wasn't until we had selected the computer as the USB connection and plugged in the power cord, it wasn't until we did all of that that then the camera said, okay, I'll go ahead and communicate with the computer. And now here's iMovie, and it's brought up this screen here, and we see these options here. There again, there's some contrast problem, sorry, with video, but here's import all, or you can select by removing some of these check marks. We're going to go ahead and remove all these except for the last one in this case. So there's a check mark here for the last video. It's 44 minutes. We'll just go ahead and click here where it says import checked. And it's warning us that we can have the full original size, which is like super high definition, but most people are going to be fine with this 960 by 540, so we're going to go ahead and leave that. Now I know some people will say, hey, I really want this to be super clear, but know that unless you're going to be showing your video to large audiences in like a full-size commercial theater, or showing it on a big screen like a 6-foot TV screen or something, this large 960 by 540 is going to be fully adequate. And you really need a lot of computing power and lots of hard drive space to store the full size. As it says here, much more hard disk space is required, up to 40 gigabytes per hour instead of 13 gigabytes per hour with this kind of large size. And there are a lot of TV sets that are sold commercially. Oh, question coming in? Yeah?
Yeah, I want to use this for my job hunting, so I want it to be high quality.
Good question. So what about when you want something to be as commercially professional as possible? Actually, this 960 by 540 is a standard that some people refer to as 720p or something. It's half of high definition. Well, there are a lot of TV sets. Most TV sets that anyone would be viewing your DVD on will be able to display this 960 by 540. If you go to the full original size, it's going to take up 40 gigabytes. It also is very slow, and it also says another disadvantage, may not play back smoothly on MacBook, MacBook Pro, MacBook Air, etc. So some computers might not be able to play it because it's such a dense file. So that's a good question, but I think large is going to be really good. It's actually much better than what most television studios would use. It's actually a step above. Standard television sets are 540 lines across. So this is twice as good as most TV sets can even display. So there are many people out here who won't even be able to see this because it's so high quality. That's how high quality it is. Full original size would be like if you're Steven Spielberg, if you're like a professional Hollywood producer, you're spending millions of dollars on a production, then you'd use full original size. So anyway, large is fine. We're going to click OK. Now this is important. We're going to choose a drive. The top one, you notice, has 15 minutes available. We don't want to choose that one. We're going to choose this one with 7 hours available because that's plenty of storage space. And we're going to give this a new name. The best new name to give is just basically today's date, which happens to be the 15th of October, Thursday. And I'm just going to call it Class for now is good. And you can put in your name if you want there. And then down here it says split days into new events. We actually don't want that check mark there. And then we've said optimize video for this large size and go ahead and import. Now the import process will take a little while. So it'll probably take, depending on your processor power, it may take as long to import as it did to record. And if it's a fast processor like this one, so it's a 44-minute video, it's going to take about, here it's saying 26 minutes until completed. Now it's up to 30 minutes, back down to 15 minutes. So it's using, in this case, multiple processors to process this video. So for now, this is a good stopping point. We've covered the basics of importing video into iMovie. And again, for probably 99% of the people out there, using the standard setting is fine. If you're Steven Spielberg, if you're producing a commercial-grade video for something, you may want to go with the higher quality, but only with a faster processor like this one. Hope that helps. If you have any more questions, feel free to email. Thanks.